Surely I can't be the first person to think of this, but I was reading Psalm 22 this morning, and I read David say, my God, why have you abandoned me?" And I'm sure you know that's what Jesus cried out on the cross as he's dying. And I've heard it's this somewhat mystery. Why would Jesus say, where are you, God? Why have you abandoned me? Did God the Father really abandon Jesus on the cross? And I've heard the explanation like, well, Jesus, he became one with our sin. And for our sin to die, for death itself to die, Jesus had to become one with our sin. And that separated him from God so that we don't have to experience hell. Jesus experienced hell on that cross. He experienced the separation from God. And that makes sense. But what if there was another layer of meaning there? What if there was something more? Because I read David saying, my God, why have you abandoned me? Why so far from my call for help, from my cries of anguish? My God, I call by day, but you do not answer. By night, but I have no relief. What if Jesus was answering David? What if Jesus, who is God, answered humanity, answered our cries, where are you, God? Answered the Israelites who have been waiting for God to do something, to save them, for all of us, for our lives, from all our problems. What if God showed us the answer? Jesus, who is God on the cross, answered David in his anguish, in his cry, why have you abandoned me? Jesus said, I have not abandoned you. In fact, I have come, I have dwelled with you. I have become one with you, and I have given myself to you. I have sacrificed myself to you. Because this was the moment where Jesus gives up his life to God. He commends his spirit, and the sacrifice is complete, and our pathway to heaven is created. The way, the truth, and the life. Jesus' life has finished. His mission is complete. Jesus was God's answer to us. Jesus and the cross, dying on the cross and paying our way to heaven, was God's answer to our sin, to our anguish, to our original sin, and our continued sins. Jesus is always the answer. And what if Jesus was answering David directly and us directly when we cry out? Because he is God. Jesus is the answer to why have you abandoned me? He has not abandoned us. He has become with us, and he has sacrificed himself with us. Again, surely I'm not the first person to think that, but what do you think? Have you thought of this before? What do you think Jesus meant? God bless you.